Hey guys, welcome back to Barry's Corner. It's Emily here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys all the books that I want to read in March. I am so excited to get into March because February has been very brutal for me. Just school has taken up 100% of my life. I have school, I have work, chemistry, 85% of my life taken up just by chemistry alone. Reading has really been on the back burner for me. If I hadn't gone home one weekend, I would not have read anything in February, which is really sad. And so I'm really trying to read more in March. Hopefully I will go a little bit more smoothly. I don't know. I hope everything goes well, but I have a bunch of books here, mostly because I want to film a bunch of videos in March. Let's see if that happens. But I'm very excited for all of them. I don't know if I'll read all of them, but definitely let me know what your plans are for March, and let's get on into the video. The first book that I want to read is a memoir. It is Know My Name by Chanel Miller, and it's basically about this girl that was known as Emily Doe in the sexual assault case. I know it's in one of the prestigious colleges, but I don't remember. I think it may have been Stanford, but I don't remember. But it's basically just her coming out and saying she doesn't like the system, she doesn't like how the whole situation was dealt with, and basically just showing and telling her life. Every single person that has read this book loves this book. I've been wanting to read it for a while. I got it, I think, in November of last year, and I've been wanting to read it ever since. But now every single YouTube video that I watch, it has Know My Name in it. Everybody mentions it at some point, so I want to read it. I know that it's going to change my life, and I know I've said this in multiple videos myself. So hopefully I read it this month. Hopefully it all goes well. Again, I've been so busy. Like last month I read 5 books, which is good, like amazing. But honestly, like if I hadn't left campus and gone home, I wouldn't have read anything. So hopefully I can get into it, especially since memoirs aren't the genre that I usually grab first. I'm a little worried that I won't pick this up, but I really want to. I think it'll be beautiful and amazing and just perfection. There may have been a change in lighting. But the second book that I want to read is Milkfed by Melissa Broder. Basically, I read So Sad Today by Melissa Broder, and I loved it. It was a collection of essays. It was very personal. It was very raw. It was very beautiful. She literally laid everything on the table with that book. But this is a work of fiction by her, and everybody says that her fiction novels are weird. I don't know if it's Bunny Mono Wad weird, but it's definitely weird in a sense. So basically this follows a girl named Rachel who's 24 years old, and she has a eating disorder, specifically a calorie restriction addiction. And so her mother's really feeding into that, so her therapist says, you need to take a detox from your mother, like you just need to cut her out for a little bit. And she meets this girl named Miriam, and Miriam becomes her new addiction, and I believe it just spirals downhill. I think so. I have no idea what's gonna go on with this book. I have no expectations. I just know it's gonna be weird, hopefully a good time, and hopefully a quick read. But yeah, hopefully I read this. I'm gonna say this about all of them, but I hope I read this month. I hope I read any book this month, to be honest. The next book I want to read, I've been wanting to read for a while. It is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. This book is now TikTok famous, but I've been wanting to read it for so long, like years, and I'm just like, now it's TikTok famous? Thank you so much. I don't know, sometimes I like the TikTok fame because everybody is reading books that like really deserve it, but then sometimes I'm like, if I haven't read it before the TikTok fame, I'm like, dang it, I should have read it before the TikTok fame and like said that I was one of those people to read it, but now that I'm reading it afterwards, I'm like, I only read it for the TikTok fame. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but basically all I know about this book is it's about a young girl, I believe in her 20s, and she is young, she's thin, she's pretty, she's a Columbia graduate, but she is depressed, I believe, and so she just wants to sleep for a year. Like, I feel that. Let me sleep for a year. I would love that so much. And basically I think it just follows her journey through depression and all this good stuff. I think it'll be good. I hope it lives up to my expectations that I've been having for years, and hopefully I love it because the hype on TikTok is also insane. This is the month that I'm going to be reading The Love Hypothesis. I've had this in past DVRs, I've had this in other videos where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I saw like one bad review of this book, and then ever since then, like I haven't been really wanting to read it. I bought it though. Actually, I think I got it for Christmas. My boyfriend got this for me for Christmas, I think. And recently I've just been seeing so many TikToks, so many videos, and I'm actually so excited to read this book. This basically follows a PhD student named Olive, and I believe she doesn't believe in long-lasting relationships, like romantic relationships. But her best friend does, and I believe Olive tells her friend that she has a boyfriend, and then her friend walks by and she's like, oh crap, like I'm supposed to be with my boyfriend right now, because she said that she was on a date. And so then she like kisses the guy that like walks out, and it turns out to be a really grumpy hotshot young professor named Adam. And I believe they start fake dating for something, I'm not sure. And then it becomes like a grumpy sunshine, enemies to lovers, maybe type thing. I don't think enemies to lovers, but definitely a grumpy sunshine, like fake dating to real dating romance. I've heard so many good things. I really want to read it this month. I really do. And I think it'll be an amazing read. Okay, now this one I know I'm not going to finish this month. It is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This book, love the cover. This is a book about this guy named Alex and a girl named Poppy, and they have nothing in common, but they used to go on vacation together all the time, and apparently they had a falling out, and years later Poppy's like, I believe she goes up to Alex and is like, hey, I'm in a bad place. I think they're both in a bad place, and they're like, hey, like, we had so much fun on vacation, why don't we do that again? And so it goes back and forth between them now and then them going on their vacations in the past, and like it was following up to them having a falling out and seeing why they had a falling out in the first place, why they're not together now. And yeah, I wasn't really into this book until I read Beach Read, and I was like, holy moly, I need to read everything that Emily Henry has ever written in her entire life. So now I'm really excited, but I made my friend's buddy read this with me. So I know I'm not going to finish it this month because it takes months to finish a book because they're not really readers. But I think we will finish this quickly. I just think maybe it'll take 2 months. But I'm extremely excited to see what I think, but also extremely excited to see what they think. The next book I want to read is for a video. Honestly, most of these are for a video, but this one in specifics, I wouldn't have read it sooner if I wasn't filming a video for it. It is From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon. First of all, I just want to blatantly state, I don't think Indians get enough rep in the media, specifically with books. I said this in another video where I don't think Muslims get enough rep, and I truly believe that to be so. So I'm very happy that this book was very kind of like popular-ish around olden days of booktubes, and hopefully it can like catch back up. It definitely gives like YA mid-2000s vibe. So I'm very excited to read it, but also signed, love that for me. But basically this follows an aspiring filmmaker named Twinkle, and she just wants to tell her stories, and this really works out for her because a fellow film geek, Sahil, approaches her to direct a movie for the upcoming Midsummer Night's Arts Festival. Oh my gosh, that was a mouthful. I honestly barely got that out. Anyway, Twinkle's all over it because one, she gets to do what she really loves, but also because she is really into Sahil's twin brother, Neil. And then one day, a person messages her online with the thing named N. Why can I not speak today? Why can I not speak when I'm talking about this specific book? N. And she's like, oh my gosh, Neil's messaging me. We're having such a good time. Like, I'm really liking this. And then also she starts falling for Sahil. So she's like, dang it. Like, I really like Neil, but like, I'm starting to like Sahil. Look, I know that you know that the outcome of this book is very predictable. I already know what's going to happen. I know the twist. I know who N is going to be. Come on, we know. But I think it'll be super cute. I think it'll be an amazing, fun, fast read. This is a book that I'm definitely reading this month, and I cannot wait for it. Now, the last 3 are books that I might not get to at all. Like, the other ones I'm like, I'm going to really try to get to, but if I don't get to those, I'm definitely not getting to these. The first one is Again But Better by Christine Riccio. This book, again, I want to read for a video. Honestly, all of these are. But basically, this follows a girl named Shane, and she has had stellar grades. She tries to just honestly make other people happy with her college life and her college success, specifically her parents. And one day she realizes that she's doing college all wrong, so she kind of like doesn't tell her parents that she's taking a semester abroad in London, and she goes on all these adventures. I DNF'd this one time, and I kept it because I really thought that I would read it again. Maybe it was the time that I was reading it. Also, I had just started working when I bought this book, and I bought it with my own money. So at that time, like, something that I bought with my own money. It was something very, very valuable. And for me to DNF this, I was like, no, there's no way. I bought this with my own money. I definitely need to give it another try. So here I am giving it another try. This is from the booktuber Christine Riccio, I believe, Poland Banana Books. And I have high hopes because, like, I don't know, although I DNF'd it, and I don't think this will be my absolute favorite book of all time, I do think that she has potential. This book has potential. So I'm excited to read it. I think it'll be good. The next book that I also don't think I'm going to get to is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book I started reading a while ago and I never really finished it. It basically follows a 16-year-old girl named Star, and she moves between two worlds, the poor black neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school that she attends. One day, there's a shooting, the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend, Khalil, at the hands of a police officer. Khalil was unarmed, and I believe she was in the car too. And basically, I just think that she has to, like, live in between these two worlds. Like, she knows that this is wrong, but everybody in her white school is like, I don't see the problem with this. I don't know, but I know that there's a movie about it. I know that everybody raved about the movie. I know everybody raved about the book, but I can't watch the movie without reading the book first, and I haven't read it yet, and this has been on my shelves for years, so I have to do it now. I'm very excited. I think out of, like, honestly, all of these books, I think this is one that I'm going to rate like a 5 out of 5 stars. Now, the last book. Again, out of all of these, this is the one that I will read last. It's huge. It's huge. It's Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This basically follows a girl named, what's her name? Nova. Her name's Nova. And basically she has hated the Renegades for as long as she can remember. Renegades are superheroes in her world, and she hates them because in the first chapter, or like in the introduction, her parents die. So it's not a spoiler, and she feels like the Renegades should have been there for her, and she's like, I hate them. So she joins, like, kind of like rebels, and she goes to infiltrate, but she meets this guy, and I believe she falls in love and all this good stuff. Everybody said such good things about this book when it was popular. It's not that popular anymore, so hopefully I can bring that back. Hopefully I'll love it. I do have amazing hopes for this book, so I think it'll be great. So those are all the books that I want to read in March. Will I read all of them? No. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, but I'm definitely going to try to read more books than I had read in February. Hopefully it all goes well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment down below, and like this video. All of my social links are down in the description box below, as well as my Amazon wishlist if you would like to gift me a book. I hope you guys, oh my gosh, the amount of times that I've done this outro, guys. The amount of time, like, I've literally been filming for 30 minutes now. Like, it does not need to take this long. Okay. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you guys so much. Bye.